M2 Super Haul for October 2015. Today we're looking at all of the M2 stuff I just picked up in the last couple weeks, including these ultra cool 69 Ford F100 trucks. This is the second release of this vehicle in a new color. Well, actually two new colors. And they are awesome. I just love these new castings that they have of the pickup trucks. They're so detailed. As you can see here, opening doors, opening hood, extremely detailed front grills, little plastic headlight lenses with rubber tires, super detailed interiors, and just amazing stuff. Chrome plastic bumpers. Look at the details on the front of this thing. Everything closes really nicely. There's no burrs at all on these trucks, so I think M2 has improved their casting a little bit actually, because I've got a whole bunch of them here and they all seem to be really good and tight. And beyond that, I've got a whole bunch of other cool castings to look at. This Ford COE, a whole bunch of really nice Oldsmobiles, or Cutlasses I should say, Oldsmobile Cutlass. 3 different colors on those. These very popular 65 Ford Econoline vans. Really nice flame paint jobs on them. We're going to be opening up all these cars, as well as a whole bunch of nice little kit collections here with spare tires, spare axles, even screwdrivers to assist you with getting these cars apart, which is extremely easy because all M2 cars are held together with little tiny screws, little Phillips head star screwdrivers. So 2 screws and you've got your whole car taken apart, as we can see with this one. Well, it comes apart a lot more than that, but I kind of put together because I'm going to make a nice little wrecking yard tow truck out of this one. And a whole bunch of other cool stuff here too. We've got the auto lift with the die cast metal lift. Some really nice Fords on that one. Ford Torino Cobras. And we're going to be cracking open a sealed case of M2 authentic cars. These are all cars from the 50s and 60s. Really detailed stuff. A chance of a chase in there. And I've got this tow truck out. I bought a whole bunch of these things a while back. Basically they were pretty cheap because there was a lot of them around at the time. And I just took out one screw, got the whole toe piece off of the back, and I'm going to customize a few of these trucks. May have to do a little chassis lengthening on that one or choose different chassis, but it will fit real nicely on this one without any chassis modification. You can see the wheelbase lines up nicely once I take that box off and throw some dualies on it. But just a lot of fun to play with these M2s and take them all apart, look at all the details. And when you see these kits here, these auto wheels editions of cars, works on most 1/64 scale cars, so you can use all the wheels and axles that come with this. There's 4 sets of wheels and axles in total with this car, all rubber tires, highly detailed little chrome rims on them of various types, steelies, dish wheels, white walls. And why bother buying $5 Real Rider Hot Wheels to cannibalize for those tires when you can get 4 sets for the same price on an M2 car? And they work on all sorts of cars and they look great. It's even got a little instruction tutorial on the back here. You can see how they take them apart. Step 1, step 2, just pull the axles apart. You don't have to use any drills or anything. I'm sure a lot of you guys that bought M2 and especially the customizer already know this stuff, but just wanted to point that out for people that might not be familiar with the M2 lineup and how easy they are to work with and play around with. So even myself, I'm not a big time customizer by any means, but it sure makes it for an easy way to get into the customizing hobby when you're buying cars that were designed to be taken apart and come with spare parts. Not to mention these nice little cases that most of the cars come with. Got a very clear Lexan case, snap top lid. You can put just about any car in there, change the label if you want, and stack them up nicely if you wanted to. So I'm really impressed with the M2 lineup. I think that the details are awesome. The quality is there, and it's a unique lineup of cars for sure. So without further ado, let's get into cracking some of these awesome cars open, and then we're gonna snap open that brand new sealed case and see what's inside there as well. And this is why I buy at least 2 of each M2 I'm really keen on. No sooner than I have it out of the package, I'm already tearing it apart. Didn't take me more than a couple minutes to get the box off and the wheel apart. So you can just pull the wheel off on one side. It's got a little barb on the end of the axle that kind of holds it in place, so you can put it back together securely and won't fall apart. And check out the wheels on this M2. I'm always talking about true dualies. True dualies, my friends. Got an inside tire and an outside tire, so that's just awesome. I love seeing stuff like that. Now I do have to caution, I did have to use a pair of bent needle nose pliers like this. You can buy them just like that. To help with the Ford axle, because it was pretty tight, but it wasn't hard to get those needle nose in beside the axle behind the wheel, and just a slight prying action and pop, off she came. Not bad for a 5-minute custom, eh? Pretty cool. All screwed together and everything. Changed those dualies into singles, but they're still larger on the back, so that's pretty cool. And wouldn't take much to finish this little project up nicely, but pretty cool how you can turn out of the box with 2 vehicles, 2 M2s. You can make an entirely new vehicle. Nice, wicked looking tow truck. And another cool thing, don't throw away all those little screws that come with the base display units. These screws are interchangeable. The small ones you see here are the screws that were used to hold the vehicle together on the body and the chassis. And the longer ones are various screws that come from the packaging itself. So what I did was I just used one of the longer screws to connect the back of the chassis to this taller toe piece here, because it needed a little bit more length to reach it. So there's a whole plethora of spare parts with these vehicles and just a ton of options. Now keep in mind, this is just a very quick custom just to show you what can be done in a matter of 5 minutes or less. Well, I know I had to get into the other models, but I digressed, and in another 10 minutes I made this model. This is just using a screwdriver. I didn't do anything else. Found the chassis that works. It's off my '69 Ford Mercury pickup truck. Works for a whole bunch of things. Did a wheel swap, did a box swap, a body swap, and then with the leftovers of my '57 Chevy, I made this off-road version of the '67 Ford using its chassis, and all I did was stick the box and the body on it. So a little further modification, a little bit of shaving with the Dremel, and these will look a whole lot better and will roll even better. But I mean, otherwise these are pretty much fully completed vehicles almost. That is just really cool. Look at that, it even rolls. Oh my goodness. Well, it's because I didn't screw it all together. But anyways, that's pretty cool, eh? That's the other thing about these green lights. They roll really well. They're almost like Hot Wheels in a way. They do roll better than green light anyways, for the most part. I've had a lot of green lights that don't roll that well. Okay, now I promise you we're going to get into these other cars here, and hopefully I don't take them all apart as I open them up either. Well, I won't, because I only have one of each, but I'm going to be buying a whole lot more of these. Let's have a look at these first batch of M2s, just freshly cracked. The Oldsmobile Cutlass 442. As you can see, opening doors, opening hoods. Lots of detail on these little cars. Lots of nice little details. Another thing that's cool, look at those little windows. It's got little windows on the doors, actually part of the door. And really detailed interiors. Just awesome, awesome pieces. Love those dish hubcaps on that car. Individual little tailpipe sticking out there on the bottom on each side. And wait till you see the details on the motor on this thing. Now these cars are comprised of about 45 different parts, as it shows in the back of the packaging. But look at that motor. It's got individual hoses, air cleaners, valve covers, painted the painted inside of the body around the hood, radiators, and everything closes real nice on these cars. So I'm very impressed with these M2s. And we'll have a look at the base of this one here. You can see it's got those individual little tailpipes we were talking about there. It's an actual separate piece right on the back of the car. You could even remove it if you wanted to. Rubber tires, all metal base. Again, Phillips head screwdrivers holding it all together. Just a sweet little car. And of course, true 1/64 scale. Next on the turntable, these 1965 Ford Econoline vans. No opening parts on these ones, but really nice paint jobs. And still lots of detail, as you would expect on any M2. Let's have a look at some of the features of this van. Up close, metal base once again, rubber tires, separate little chrome pieces for the headlights and the bumper corners. Nice detailed little interior in there. And really good job on the tampos. There's never any blurring, or they're never off at all. Detailed tail lights and door handles. More little corner bumpers on the back. Really cool little van. These next 4 cars we're going to look at, I'm not actually going to open these ones at this time. Number 1, because it'll take forever if I keep playing with all these cars, but number 2 is I just have nowhere to put all these loose parts right now until I figure out my display system a little better. And right now they just display real nice as they are in these packages, a little better than the boxed cars that we opened up there. I like these plastic packages for wall hanging the cars a little better than those boxes, because even though they come with those nice little Lexan clear plastic boxes, if you keep all the packaging on, there's really no way of hanging them or storing them or anything like that. So not without a big huge shelf, which I do not have. So anyways, we're just looking at this 1970 Ford Mustang Boss 429. Really cool car, lots of details, and love the wheel selection that they give with this car. Lots of steel wheels, which can be used for all sorts of purposes really. So there's that one. And this one here, we got a 69 Camaro SS. Really cool. Like, just look at the color and tampos on this thing, and the wheels, yellow print letters, authentic Goodyear Eagle tires, Flowmaster exhaust. Jeez, I love this stuff. You know, Edelbrock, the gasket company on there. Like, it's just real good stuff, real quality sponsorship behind M2, and they really don't get the praise they deserve from the online community, I don't think. I mean, certain people love them like myself, but I'm amazed that these cars are overshadowed at times by other manufacturers, because they really put the most heart into these cars, I think. It's still very much a small family type run company. You know, even though it is production, it's just, that's a really cool car. Flat black on copper. Anyways, you know, Greenlight's an awesome company too. That's their direct competitor, I would say. You know me, I love my Greenlights, but M2 deserves just as much respect. And it's a whole different feel of casting, really. It's good stuff. So really nice models. I think these cars are going to end up being highly collectible, you know, in the long run, because they are still fairly low production numbers for M2, much lower than Greenlight at this point, at least half anyways. And this thing weighs probably a solid 1.5 pounds of metal. Like, it's just heavy. You got a heavy metal die cast. These things are stackable, so if you open this up and you got multiple auto lifts, as they call it, you can stack them. Sky's the limit, really, until they topple over. It's just really cool, innovative display ideas that they have for M2, giving you options on, you know, the Lexan cases, the hanging blister packages, the M2 lifts. Like, it's just, I really appreciate M2. So the muffler shop, like, what a classic looking truck. And look at, they've got a little ball hitch on the back there. It probably wouldn't tow very long if you're a kid whipping it around, but for an adult collector, it just really is the finishing touches on these vehicles that just really do it for me. So love it. Love M2. Okay, finally we're going to crack open that box of Authentic cars and let's hope for a chase. Okay, here goes nothing. Cracking a brand new R33, release 33 M2 Authentics. Factory sealed M2 tape on it. Let's adjust this camera down for a second. Here we go. Let's see what we've got in here. This is what happens when you open up an M2 case. You get the whole store display basically. So we'll get rid of that box. Now we need to adjust the camera up a little bit. Here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. First one right off the top. Nice, nice. DeSoto Fireflight. Really cool casting. Look at the paint job on this thing. It's just immaculate. Wow. Can't wait to crack that open. I mean, you can hang these little packages, but they kind of hang like that. Maybe if there was on a wall it would hang better, but you know, they are stackable clearly, so you can display them like that if you want, but these cars have so much detail. They really are, you're really not doing it justice by not taking them out of the package. Oh, little bent corner, I don't really care. Like I said, I'm going to take them out. So, Ford Crestliner. Nice. Nice, nice, nice color combo. I wonder if that's an authentic color combo. Quite often, M2 is very strict about adhering to color combos on these Authentics. Like these would be the color of the cars that you would have seen back on the showroom floor in the 1950s. Check out the interior on this 57 bel-air. Two-tone striped seats. Silver steering wheel horn. Silver painted gauges on the dashboard. Like, wow. Just blows my mind how much detail they get on these cars. Okay. See what else we got in here. This is a good release, I'd have to say. This is probably one of the best releases I've seen. 54 Chevy bel-air. Another really nice car. Again with the two-tone interior. You got copper matching the hardtop, as well as silver inlay in the seats. And just amazing. Look at that emblem. Wow. Leaves me speechless sometimes. I just love collecting M2 cars. What we got here? Oh, that's a beauty. Ford Fairlane 500. Look at the motor on that thing. Just right out there in the sunshine. Got the rad cap on it, air cleaner, separate pieces too if you were to take it all apart. Perfect paint job on it. It's got the actual plastic chrome emblem right on the hood. Plastic clear headlights on it. Like just for 1/64 scale, it is really incredible that they can get this kind of detail on it. And if you notice, the tires on these cars are the appropriate size. These are not big, thick, you know, chunky real riders. These are actual scale, diameter, and width tires made of rubber, which I really appreciate. Much like the Auto World cars, some collectors aren't a fan of the thin little tires, but for me, I love it. I wish all cars had tires like this, because the big, thick Hot Wheel tires, they don't really do it for me. I mean, it's nostalgia, but it's not authentic, and that's where Authentics comes from. These are very authentic cars that have been properly scaled by people that really know how to capture the true details from the cars 50, 60 years ago. And no chases, but I'm still happy, because the chases are cool because they're rare, but the gold trim is not authentic of the car, and I actually almost prefer to get the regular version of the cars just for that reason. So there's the cool little display that you would see in the store. You get the whole thing, and you can store your boxes in it if you want, I suppose. Well, it's been an M2 haul video. Hope you enjoyed the show and the play and everything else. And as always, I'm going to finish this video now with a random zoom in on an M2 car from the junkyard. An M2 car. It can't be a green light car. It has to be an M2 car. Homing in. Beauties. Alright, happy hunting everyone. Thanks for watching.